Hey guys, it's Michael. I have a quick update for you on the second stimulus check and second stimulus package. In today's video, we're going to go over how Mark Meadows spoke to CNBC earlier this morning, shortly after a Senate Republican leader said that the Senate hoped to vote and pass next week a second stimulus bill. Then we're going to get into the interview with Mark Meadows and what he said the biggest obstacle is right now to a pandemic relief bill, even though real progress has been made in the last week between Democrats and Republicans. And then finally, we're going to get into a couple of other important updates with the stimulus check as well. But before we get started, it would really mean a lot if you could like the video down below and subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on the second stimulus check, second stimulus package, as well as other news updates. It currently says that about 50% of you watching are not subscribed to my channel. So if you'd like to stay up to date on the second stimulus check and other news updates, well then please be sure to subscribe. Also, don't forget, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. Let me know in the comments which 2 free stocks you receive and if you get the $1,400 worth in free stocks. Also, you can get $5 immediately when you download the Acorns investment app as well. So, Mark Meadows spoke to CNBC earlier this morning on Tuesday, shortly after a Senate Republican leader indicated that the Senate hoped to vote and pass a second stimulus package next week. The Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, expressed optimism that the two parties could reach an agreement on a more narrow set of issues, even as they have struggled for weeks to advance broader negotiations. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows told CNBC earlier this morning that the aid to state and local governments poses the biggest obstacle to a relief bill right now, even as real progress has been made in the last week. He explained how Democrats have pushed for nearly $1 trillion in aid to state and local governments hit by revenue shortfalls as a result of the crisis. But Meadows told Squawk on the Street that this figure was not based on reality and it has no validity to it. It's simply too much. He goes on to say that the GOP, however, would support spending $150 billion in new funding to state and local governments. So right now, Democrats want to spend close to $1 trillion and Republicans say $150 billion. He goes on to say that they are making real progress in the negotiations, but as they look at the number of things that they actually agree to and the amount of money allocated to those areas, they are still far apart on a couple of major areas. The one biggest issue being money for state and local governments. On CNBC, the reporter explained how Democrats say that the way they see the negotiation is to agree on a price tag for the total bill first for the second stimulus package and then backfill all of the specific aspects of what is needed in it after. But Mark Meadows responded to this by saying that that approach isn't workable and it doesn't make sense because generally the way you arrive at a number in an agreement is by allocating a certain amount of money to each of the separate programs and then you see what those separate programs add up to in the end. He said you don't figure out a total price tag and then just allocate the money. He said the best way to go about it is figuring out how much money you want to give to each area and then just see how much that adds up to in total. President Donald Trump's Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, goes on to say in the interview that the Democratic proposal of a $2.2 trillion package isn't realistic and that a $500 billion plan more targeted at areas of the economy that are struggling the most and hurt by the pandemic would be a great starting point for the second stimulus package. He said if we can add from that and use that as a foundation or at least past that, knowing that we will largely agree on all of the aspects in this more targeted proposal, well then let's go ahead, let's get that passed, signed into a law, and then we could talk about the other aspects after. He says there's no point of delaying money to the people right now when they already agree on a number of aspects. He explained that once that's passed, and hopefully next week, well then the principals could come back to the negotiating table, continue to negotiate on the things that perhaps might separate the two parties, and work out something later on the issues that don't have as much bipartisan support. In addition to Mark Meadows, Wyoming Senator John Barroso, a member of the body's Republican leadership, said that the Senate may consider passing a new stimulus bill next week when it returns from the August recess, and then the House can vote on it and pass it the following week when they return as well. Currently, the House isn't scheduled to come back into session until the following week, so 1 week after the Republicans are in session. And finally, I have a couple of quick announcements on the stimulus check from the IRS. So the GAO said in its report Monday that the Treasury and the IRS sent almost 1.2 million payments totaling $1.6 billion to dead people. However, the good news is that the Treasury Department told the Government Accountability Office that nearly 70% of the $1.6 billion in stimulus payments that were sent to dead people have been recovered. The report explained that they were unable to verify the amount, but that they are currently working with the Treasury Department to determine the number of payments sent to descendants that have been recovered. So anyways, that is just a quick update on the second stimulus check and second stimulus package from Mark Meadows' interview earlier today with CNBC. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $5 immediately when you download the Acorns investment app as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.